My name is Mario Villeneuve. I'm a visual artist and a regular Canadian. Of all the cuts that we've been hearing in the last month, one that kind of fell off the radar and the one that probably affects us the most here in the Yukon is the exhibition transport services. And just for the benefit of some of the candidates that might not be up on this, the exhibition transport services was a program that basically permitted any piece of art that is considered heritage, Canadian heritage, that can be held either at the National Gallery or at the Winnipeg Art Gallery or Montreal Museum of Contemporary Art, but basically as a Canadian heritage designation. And it can only be shown in galleries like we have here in the Yukon, which is a level A gallery. But it needs this special equipment, these special trucks, these special drivers that are also handlers. The program was announced a year ago that it would be cut, and as of May of this year, was cut. So essentially it means that the Yukon is not part of Canada because we cannot see Canadian heritage now. There is no way to bring these kind of artwork that are essentially what makes us Canadian to the Yukon. There is no way to get it up here. It's not, the private companies that exist will come as far as Vancouver, but not to the Yukon.
I'm sorry, what's your question?
Will you reinstate this vital to the Yukon program?
Oh, thank you for that excellent question. And those of you who are involved in the industry know that I think I was the only MP that asked a question in question period in Parliament about this. I decried this as one of a huge number of very, very sad cuts made by this government since it came in, and there's absolutely no purpose to this, and I fought and fought against it. It's so important to Canada to move these exhibits across Canada, and in fact, because of that, I was invited to a very sad event, actually the only MP that was invited, and which I went to, and that was sort of the closing down where they laid off these drivers and people that have been doing this program, taking our precious heritage across the Canada to places like here where we wouldn't have it for years, and I expressed my total condolences and support for them for the great work they've done in this ridiculous cutting of that program by the government.
Thank you. As the gentleman said, actually I certainly am not totally aware of this program, and I certainly am eager to learn more about it. You know, I know one of the things that happens when there is a change of governments is that there is a rejigging in programming, and things are phased out, and sometimes they come back and they have a new name as well. And I certainly agree that transportation of these, you know, in order to be able to get these sort of artifacts to Yukon requires that. And I would like to learn more about this and see what we can do to help facilitate that.
Thank you very much. I love going to the Mendel Gallery. I love going to the McMichael. I love going to the AGO and the RMO. But I want to go up the hill and see our artistic heritage. So the answer to your question is, to me, it's a complete no-brainer. Of course. Of course.
In response to your question, Mario, the Green Party has already identified that it would reinstate these cuts, and we recognize that infrastructure around arts is important in order to make it happen. It just doesn't fall off of a tree. It takes a lot of work. I have on occasion been up and helped Scott Price hang shows and worn the white gloves and the whole bit. But I want to just respond a little bit to a comment that Daryl just made about when governments step in and rejigging of programs. My sense of government is that it's our responsibility to make sure that there is a continuity and not just rejig programs. We've got to take responsibility at all times for the actions that we put in place. So it's, you know, I understand it's a tough job to take over something and to move forward, but it doesn't relieve us of the responsibility to Canadians.